Oh, speaking of hats.
Sorry, you're crushing me a little bit. There we go. There we are. There's a good boy.
Not one of the things I find.
Random Viking. Alright, just give me 1 second. Let me 1 second to dominate the mic. I'm gonna need more than that, but you know me. Just so I can get the intro.
You look like you're on Nightmare.
Aha! I found my little Dovahkiin hat. I had to wear this when I worked in Game last year, whenever the game was released.
Oh, nice.
And I kind of didn't return it. So,
That's the best way to
I have a Dragonborn helmet.
Alright. Let's get this going. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of certain age, welcome to Stupid State Laws Live. And yet again, Tony Helms cannot be here tonight, so I gotta coast the Yoli's lovely Irish fucking, I don't know, I'm screwing up left and right tonight. Nicola here. And of course,
Yeah.
my beautiful sexy fiance, the Black Betsy chick, so I got a double shot of Celtic for us. Nicola, see how Tony's out. What do you have for us tonight?
Right, well, as some of you know, I moved into a new house, and along with this house, we came across this, which looks like a pretty brass vase. But then I went to move it so I could clean the mantelpiece, and I noticed something on the bottom. That is a firing pin mechanism and a serial code for a 40mm artillery shell.
Jesus.
This is basically a spent artillery shell with the end has been pulled out with pliers to make it into a vase. There were 2 of these sitting in my living room. We think it was
Only in
from when
Ireland.
there was the anti-aircraft guns and what do you call them? The ship guns that used to be on the shore down the river. So we've 2 of those. I'm keeping them just because they're awesome.
That is such
Only-
a dinner party piece.
I swear, only in Ireland will you just find random fucking weapons, and I mean fucking artillery, in your house.
It had a rose in it. It had a fake rose in it.
Only in Derry. Only in
You have to use
Derry.
it as a dinner party piece, just seeing. And to your left, you'll see the random artillery shells decorated with beautiful chrysanthemums.
True, only in Derry. If you found this in Belfast, it would still be live.
No, don't change the flowers. Run!
That's at the stem of the rose. Run!
Pull the flowers out and throw it.
Come on!
Yeah.
That's what you.
Here's
go
something
for.
else I found. There's something else I found there.
God, you found a Luger?
Oh my god!
Nicola, you found a Luger? Just randomly hit it? Is that? Please tell me that's a water gun. Or at least tell me there's a serial number
No,
on it.
actually, it is not a water gun. It is actually a stage prop of a British Weberly service pistol. It is made from cast iron, and it weighs a good ton. It was used as a stage show prop.
I want one.
I found this in a little shop, a little antique dealer thingy down the town called Bedlam, and I swear to God, it's like walking under your. I think DKW's having a heart attack there. The chat.
And I'm going to apologize. I thought, from first glance, I thought that was a German Luger. I'm sorry, I'm
By
not
the way,
an
we
expert on,
shop Bedlam.
I'm not an expert on German weaponry.
It does. When I first thought it was a Luger too, but the fellow who sold it to me told me it was a Weberly, and he was the one who made it. He says he actually used parts of his old motorbike and an old bench to make it for a stage prop. But this wee shop Bedlam I found it in, I swear it's like walking into some old man's house and everything's for sale. There's a room full of furniture, there's a room full of cool shit like this, there's a room full of bloody vinyl and old 8-track tapes.
It's Sounds like my grandparents' house.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you walk into some old man's house and it's like, that's a cool table. I'll sell it to you.
Yeah, it's like my grandparents' house. Their attic is literally full of junk from way back to the 40s, I think.
Yeah, I have a reel-to-reel player somewhere. Not with me. I think I left it at my mum's house for now. Oh well, I'll find it later.
Are we talking about the same reel-to-reel player like before there was cassette tapes?
Yes,
Same
we are talking
system, just a lot bigger.
pretty much big, massive things like that, and they use a machine that's like that size to play it on.
All right, Nicola, while you're going through your house and through the neighbor's house, if you find a copy of London After Midnight, I want it.
Well, we'll see what we can find. Let's see. What else? I completely forgot I had this guy.
What the fuck?
That is a resin bust of Nemesis from Resident Evil.
I was just gonna say that looks like Nemesis without
'Cause it
arms.
is Nemesis. I completely forgot I had him. It was awesome. I also have a paperweight. You know those little glass paperweights you get that have the laser engraved on the inside? I have one of those of Minas Tirith. But right now, all my stuff is kind of in a pile over there because although I've been moved in for a week, I haven't actually unpacked. Because I'm lazy.
Sounds like me every day. It's like Susie comes over. It's like, why is this all piled up in the corner? I was waiting for you.
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months worth of laundry. Yay for me.
Don't be
I swear to
don't
God,
don't
it was
for,
still
hey
there
hey
when I come back kicking your ass.
hey, honey, don't forget the fucking 2 months worth of dishes.
Oh God.
I'm a firm believer. If it gets dirty, just go to the store, buy some new ones.
I keep saying I'm gonna tweet you every other day, just saying, "Is the laundry done? Is the laundry done? Is the laundry done? Is it done yet? Is it done yet?"
You should do that because he's a man. He needs reminded.
Oh God, yes.
Speaking of man, today we finally got a hold of. Do you know how in baths you have the plug hole and then you have the wee overrun up here? Our bath was too broad, so the overrun tube wouldn't fit. So we had to send away for an extended one. And today me and Colin installed it. But he couldn't get behind the bath. So me being smaller, I decided to try and go in, get behind the bath and install it. But I couldn't get in either. So in the end up, what I did is I unscrewed the bath, lifted it, scooched under it, and then sat it on my chest while I sat and played with the plumbing. So I was in a bath for about 10 minutes today.
I was honestly waiting for Nicola. I was honestly waiting for you to say that's why we have the fucking hand cannon out.
No, I found this.
We can't get behind the wall. Don't worry, I got it. Powder,
But
pound the musket, fire in the hole.
But no, while I was under there, now mind the bath is sitting on top of me. I'm holding the waist in place, and I tell Colin to Teddy to screw in the thing so I can get out. What does he do? He leans on the bath. He sits on the bath to screw it in. Squished me.
All right, yet again, I was just waiting for you to say he flushed the toilet.
Well, how would that affect me? I'm under the damn bath.
Well, I was figuring the same thing as like the shower when like the hot water's going, then it suddenly goes cold. You just get flushed with fucking the pipes.
No, we had that disaster last week.
Oh God.
Yeah, just goes to show one of the most Northern Irish things me and Colin have ever done. We were standing in the kitchen and the plumber was out working on the heating system, getting it hooked up and testing it. One of the pipes in the kitchen exploded. And it took me and Colin about 5 minutes to actually go out and investigate what the explosion was. Neither of us even jumped.
Wait a second. Wait, so the pipe exploded.
Big bang.
Your pipe exploded with a big bang.
Yep.
I think
didn't-
this guy might have been doing something other than fixing your plumbing. I'm just saying, pipe, Big Bang, Ireland. I don't, put the put the lines together.
Well, it was a plastic pipe. It wasn't a big metal one. But
Low end explosive.
oh,
Low end
Well-
explosive.
it was pressure and a weak pipe. Wasn't exactly much to go on. Well, if you really want to make it explosive, what you do is you get a wee bit of pressure, you put it in a milk box.
Let's not be teaching the kids at home how to make a proper bomb. They can Google search that one. I've been accused of enough things lately. I do not need to be accused of that one.
Yeah, everybody. Look at
Okay, now here's the thing. If you're going to Google search it,
And honey,
do it behind a
Nicola,
proxy.
Nicola, I'm from New York. Yeah, we don't believe in those pipe bomb things. We just take a good old fashioned Jack Daniels bottle, a little gasoline, and a rag.
Don't forget the sugar. The sugar makes it stick.
yes.
Why? We're throwing it through somebody's window. What do we need a stick for?
Because then they can't get rid of it. It won't wash away.
Yeah, but if it's gasoline, the flame will just stick to the fucking wall. It won't really do much damage. You want it to go into the building. We get different techniques here.
Not true.
It's
Ours
fu-
is usually to try and get it to stick on a riot shield or on the side of an armoured vehicle, but that's just us.
Makeshift stick. Yes, how to make a makeshift sticky bomb here on Center Radio, courtesy of the Irish and the Scottish. Only here, by the way, people. I guarantee you won't be hearing this on any other stream.
Hey, Susie, since you've been back, have you heard about the nonsense about the flag?
No.
No? Alright then, I'll tell you this here. Now, as I've told you before, Ireland, Northern Ireland specifically, has coined the term recreational rioting. Which means people tend to go out and riot for fun.
Yep.
Now, about 2 weeks ago, the Belfast City Council has decided to not fly the Union flag outside City Hall anymore. And all the loyalists have gone up in arms saying how it's an abuse of their civil rights and how those evil Irish Catholics are trying to take away their British identity. Bullshit. So they've decided to do the most rational thing. Not sit in a room and talk with politicians. Nah. Fucking riot in Belfast. And Derry. And Strabane. So for the
it's-
past 2 weeks we've had random riots.
So
in Northern Ireland.
So Nicola, it's St. Patrick's Day in America.
Well, in St. Patrick's Day in America, do you need fully armoured policemen and cars that are practically tanks?
My neighborhood, it does. I can show video footage. we were famously known for the eggs and cakes riot a couple years ago, which actually made national news.
Oh dear. To be truly honest, nobody gives a fuck about rioting over here now anymore. I'm just waiting. I want them to bring out the dye cannons. Like they
The
did
what?
back to the Troubles. The dye cannons.
Oh, you're gonna have to explain that one. You're gonna have to explain that one to me and the American
Oh, sure.
ignorance Yankees.
Do you know how usually when the rioting gets bad, they bring out water cannons?
Yeah, that or beanbags.
Yeah. We don't use beanbags here. We use the big ass plastic bullets. But anyway, they bring out the water cannons, and what they do is they put dye in it, and then they spray it, and a crowd of people who are basically being on the most violent little shits that there are. And then over the course of the next few days, anybody who's purple gets arrested for rioting.
Best parenting technique ever.
Yeah. There is, however, one slight problem with it. A lot of people don't know this, but you can wash that stuff off with Coca-Cola.
So America is contributing to the Irish cause.
Yes. Reminds me of a story of my father throwing a hussy fight in the middle of a crossfire.
Well, Lottie, you don't have ink on you, but you smell like cherry Coke.
Oh dear. It's way, way back in the day. They stopped using that. It was in the 80s because some, who was it? I think it was Jerry Adams, one of the big politicians over here now. He was arrested for being covered in the purple dye, but his defence was he was in the next street over and got caught in the mist. And he made a political career on that. So that was fun.
How fun is this ink spray? I mean, is it
Oh, no
is it
wonder
like a
it
garden hose? Is it like a fucking fire hose? Like just spraying everything? And if that's the case, fucking, what about the buildings?
Yeah, this is a water cannon used to disperse rioters. This is pretty much powerful enough to knock somebody off their feet. So,
Okay, this is
fun.
actual ink, correct? Like not like that infrared stuff.
No, it'll turn you purple for months.
I would have went with green myself, but maybe that'd be too stereotypical. We're looking for an eye in
Purple
us.
and red, it's easier to spot.
Follow the leprechauns.
I mind once, this is way, way, way back in the 70s, in the height of the Troubles. My dad was still living with my granny, and there was something that was banging at his door, and it was one of his mates, and his mate was just red. It was covered in one of the dyes, and he's all, Jesus, Jam, I got caught in the crossfire. I am covered. I wasn't doing it, and they're coming now. They're looking for the rioters, but it wasn't me. So Dad says, quick, get in the shower, get in the shower. So his friend jumps in the shower, he's throwing his clothes off, and he's standing there. My dad's hosing him down, he's in the underwear, getting hosed down, scrubbing. My uncle's around there trying to scrub it off, and it's not working. My granny comes charging into the bathroom and just starts throwing coke on him. Just lashing him with coke. And just when they got all of it off, he gets out and he starts getting dressed in my dad's clothes. My granny puts his clothes hiding away somewhere. And then the British Army, shows up and starts asking, have you seen anybody turn red? Seen anybody's dyed red? There's some dye in your garden. We want to know if anyone's here. So they come in, they look around, and there's my dad and his friend. He's still got the coke kind of running down his face, and he's got it in his hair and all. And he's just like, how you doing? And they left. They didn't take him.
I'm thinking there's two parts of that story that didn't get told. One was the first part when he showed up at the house and he basically said, "Hey, I brought you a new TV." And the second part is when they ask, "Do you see anybody red?" It's like, this is Ireland, not Russia.
Oh dear. But no, this was a pretty dangerous place back in the 70s. There's another good one of my favourites. My dad was going out on he was getting ready to go out on a date, so he was all dickied up on his wee sitting on. He started walking down the street, and a crossfire started. The IRA started shooting at the army at the end of the street, and there was a bullet strike on the road, so my dad lay down in the middle of the road. There's another bullet strike near him, so he rolled closer to the curb, and another one hit the fence, so he rolled off the curb and a giant muddy puddle clattered in mud, and he stood up in the middle of a crossfire and started shouting, "Ah, you fuckers, now I'm going to be late for my date." So while there are shots flying overhead and down the street, bouncing off the walls, my dad gets up and storms down the street and back into the house because he lay in a muddy puddle.
Yeah, nothing about the
I don't
bullets
see.
like flying, whizzing past his head, but goddamn it, if it's good Sunday suit got fucking muddy.
Of course. It was his good suit. That shit wasn't easy to clean.
That thing costs about 20 pounds.
Oh dear. It was like the time they were lying in the front room of the house, top floor. It was Ham and me and Kathleen. They were lying and watching Frankenstein's monster on the wee black and white TV. And again, the crossfire started because there used to be a military outpost at the end of my granny's street, so there was always fucking pot shots being taken at it. So, bullet hits the side of the building, and my dad looks at me and says, "We can't stay here. What if one comes through the window?" And my Aunt Kathleen goes, "Aye, we better move." So they left the TV onto the ground, and then they lay on the ground and continued watching the film.
You know, I'm hearing these Irish stories, and it's just it literally does. It sounds like the Bronx and Brooklyn back in the 70s. Only difference is you had actual military armies. We were just ducking from the mob.
Yeah. It's absolute madness.
Jeez.
And that's not even getting to the barricades and the tanks.
I was more interested in what happened at the actual bars. Look, do you get guys like? Is there like a special, like, does certain bars like have like specials? Like, all right, every time you hear a bullet shot, every time there's a bullet shot out, or fucking you hear a police siren, there's $1 draft for the 20 minutes. Sorry, a pound draft for 20 minutes. Every time we hear a fucking gunshot.
Fuck, the barman would be a fortune.
I'm telling you, I would do it if I opened a restaurant and bar in Ireland. I would fucking do it every time a riot breaks out. You fucking half off for fucking people. First round's free for everyone in red. every time you hear a gunshot, you get there's basically a free shot of whiskey. I'll make a fortune.
That was just madness. Oh, the process. No, some of the shit that goes on over here is madness. It's like the phrase "luck of the Irish" seems stupid in recompense.
Well, it's actually funny because me and my friends and my brother always had this thing whenever we go out on St. Patrick's Day, or anytime we ever go to a pub and somebody goes, "Luck of the Irish," you're like, that's a contradiction, right? Have you ever listened to an Irish
read
song?
a history book?
Have you ever read a history book? Have you ever read listened to an Irish song? Nothing in Ireland ends well. It's the term "luck of the Irish." It was supposed to be ironic. It doesn't mean good luck. It means bad luck.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jesus Christ! It's a culture of people that got wiped out by a potato. And yet again, I'm trying to figure this thing out. A potato, a thing that grows in the ground, wiped out an entire island.
No, it wasn't the potato it was the lack of potatoes. Fun fact, the potato is not native to Ireland. It came over from South America. But anyway, it flourished in the environment and it became the biggest crop the country had. And it was the only crop that usually the poorer farmers could keep for themselves, because the English landowners from the plantations, they took all the wheat, they took all the corn. Well, corn didn't really grow very well here in better parts. So it was the only thing that could be grown in shallow dirt. That, and for a long time people thought it was poisonous because it's related to the nightshade plant. But anyway, so when that failed...
Nicola, my whole point is a potato almost wiped out your entire island. There's an island.
4 times.
People were starving and trying to find food. You're telling me nobody thought to get a net? Put a hook on a string. You're surrounded by water. I'm sure you could have found a food source.
Yeah, 8 million people.
You would have had to fight for it, but you still could have fucking found something.
Speaking of 8 million people, we just recently got back to that population headstone in 2010. So since the Great Famine, we've just got back to 8 million people.
So
we don't procreate as fast as the world thinks.
So you're about still half of what the Irish are in Manhattan.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun little trivia fact.
Actually,
that is actually a fun little trivia fact. There is actually more people of Irish descent in the fucking island of Manhattan than there actually is in Ireland right now. And we're not even branching out to upstate New York, upstate New York, Boston, Connecticut, and the rest of the fucking Midwest.
Yeah. Here's the other thing people don't know is The Great Famine was the third famine Ireland had that decimated its population. There's so many. We've gone into the fifth now, by the way. There is a potato famine going on now at the moment. The potato crop failed last year.
Seriously, find a new crop. You need something that's try rice patties. God knows it rains enough. No, but
Well,
it's actually
for fuck's sake, all the reason it failed was because they were flooded out. So rice might have been a more viable option this year.
No, it's funny because I got a friend who comes from a Polish family, and he always makes fun of me every year, all the time. And he always says like, "Yeah, a potato wiped out your ancestors. We learned how to make vodka." It's like, take those rotted potatoes, make some vodka out of it, and fucking sell it. You can buy food.
Yeah.
It's
You eat the
perfect
potato and
rational
use the
sense.
skins to make the alcohol. Perfect.
Exactly. Who cares if it's rotted potatoes? Who the hell cares?
Yeah. I'm not saying I have a still at the back or anything, but
Well, if you got a still,
totally legal as long as I don't sell it.
Well, how about a gift? How about a gift to a fucking friend Yankee?
Can't import it to America.
Can you import it to Scotland?
Possibly. If I
Find out
don't
those
take
laws.
a plane.
How about overnight mail? It's for a puppy with Colnax or whatever that coughing disease is.
Kennel cough?
Yeah, it's a help cure to kennel cough. You're not selling whiskey. You're selling medicine.
For the longest time, that was a medicine. But anyway,
Yeah, I think
so I have an idea.
Pour it into an iron brew. Just pour it into an iron brew fucking bottle and just call it. Put a label on it saying "New Iron Brew."
Oh, if it tastes like cough syrup, I'd drink it non-stop.
Yeah, I learned that, Susie. Oh,
Yes.
she has a can of iron brew.
I like cough
That is a
syrup.
very large can of iron brew.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
hello.
That's like fucking Arizona iced tea fucking size here.
Yeah. 500 milliliters.
Oh, I love those ones.
Honey, translate
Yeah,
that
they
into
just kind of
American.
randomly appeared.
Milliliters.
That
Honey.
reminds me, guess what I
Honey.
had for dinner today?
Oh, don't tell me haggis.
Yes, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes. There's only one day a year you can get haggis in Ireland, and it's Burns Night.
Oh, yeah, Burns Night was 25th. That's right.
Define
Yeah.
what's Burns Night?
I'll allow you to explain, Susie.
It's just it's the day dedicated to the poet Robert Burns, who actually was born in the town of, or either born in or lived in the town of Mauchline. That's about 30 minutes drive from here. And it's just a very, very Scottish celebration. It's a night of ceilidhs and eating haggis and reading Robbie Burns poems, and I've never been to one, and neither do I have any intention to ever go to one.
And that's today?
Yeah.
That's today?
That
No,
was,
it was
on
the
the 25th,
25th.
so it was 2 days ago.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, so that Saint whatever day falls on the same day as Australian Day.
No, that was yesterday.
Well, he's not a saint, he's a poet.
Oh,
He was one of the first Scottish poets / scholars that was taken seriously in English courts, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or something along those lines. Anyway,
so you basically
See-
get a Scottish holiday and Australian holiday, so pretty much the UK is not sober for about 4 days straight.
Yeah, it's a big thing, and I've noticed in Canada as well, and some parts of America. There's people that get into Robert Burns Day in a big way.
Mid-South.
it's an excuse to drink in America. Come on.
Scottish holidays are actually very popular in the Mid-South because most of the Scottish immigrants actually migrated to the Mid-South.
Yeah,
Irish and Scottish immigrants.
How did they
mostly-
not melt?
I don't know. I think mostly it was they were up north and it kind of was like, yeah, you're not working here, so move south. And they were told, there's jobs and land. If you fucking plant a flag, you can take ownership. They're like, all right, playing the bagpipes down like freedom, freedom. What the fuck is with this heat? It's like, quick, we need the pipe. We need to build taverns. We need to get out of the sun.
Yes.
That's like the failed Scottish colonies, and was it what do you call it? It was in South America. It was around the time the English started coming over, way before the Revolution, and they kicked the Redcoats out. The Scottish decided they wanted their own little colony, so they went further on down south, and South America, just down past Panama, and they picked the worst place. They put the most inaccessible area where it was really, really hot, and they were Scottish, so they couldn't do anything. And the problem with this was that Scotland sank pretty much their entire treasury into this expedition.
Jesus.
So they bankrupted the country when this failed, which is why Scotland is part of the Union.
Woo.
Really, I always thought it was because the English basically took over their land and then shoved them over to the fucking top of Ireland and said, "Here, your new home." But we're taking this land over.
No.
Because if I remember my history correct, and I could be wrong here because I'm not always fluent with European history, I believe what is now Scotland was originally North Ireland, and originally North England was originally Scotland, and basically they kind of just moved the territory over.
Yeah, you're thinking of Braveheart there, darling.
I'm pretty sure I'm somewhat right. I think one of the princes of Scotland married somebody from England. I
Yeah.
don't have all the facts. I don't have notes up. I'm doing this, obviously ad-lib, but I'm pretty sure that's somewhat true. That
Somewhere along those lines, yeah.
North England was basically originally Scotland, and then they basically took the Scotland and then moved it over to the top of Ireland.
No, they didn't do that. They didn't move the territories.
Yeah, I guess I'm
What
wrong.
happened was the Scottish royal line and the English royal line intermingled to the point where there was a Scottish heir and an English heir, and the English heir died off, and then all that was left was this little Scottish boy hiding in Edinburgh Castle with the Scottish loyalists, and he basically went, "I'm heir, I'll be king," and he was crowned the King of England and Scotland. There was no violence about this. It was just lucky coincidence that the Scottish guy was more popular than the English heir.
Isn't that how it always
But-
works, though?
Yeah. But after that point, then
It's always
Scottish
the,
got
it's
their
always the
independence, yada,
immigrant.
yada, yada.
It's always the foreigner that's more popular than the queen or the king.
Hell yeah. It's the English.
Hence why all your money has fucking Liberace on it.
This again. Ugh.
I'm not kidding. Look at any bill or coin from fucking Europe and Canada. It has Liberace on it. I cannot figure out the fascination. Yeah, he was an already musician, but fucking what's the fascination?
Ugh.
It's not Elvis.
I don't know if you
Yes,
can
that
see
is
this,
true.
but
Queen Victoria spoke German because she was of German descent.
Yes. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I have Boo snoring on my lap.
Oh, he's such a
He
cute
doesn't,
puppy.
honey, he doesn't sound as loud as you. You sound like a fucking bulldozer.
Yes. I will admit it. I snore like a fucking chainsaw.
Yes.
That's how much of a diehard fucking Evil Dead fan I am that I even snore like a fucking like Bruce Campbell's chainsaw.
You should see the look my mum
And
gave me when
it's-
she heard my phone going off with Evil Dead quoting.
And a fun fact, just randomly every now and then while I'm sleeping in a dead sleep, I will just randomly scream out, "Work shed." Nothing.
I once
Nobody?
threw a boot across a room at Colin because he was snoring so loud.
He says weird shit when he's sleeping. He just
Did it?
randomly woke up sometimes and then what was the? It was a weird thing that he actually
Don't
said.
confess any racist statements. I might have screamed out at dead asleep. I was more likely fucking being influenced by the sounds of my noisy neighbors around me.
No, it was something like we've got to go stop somebody, and then he just conked back out on the bed again. I was like, what the fuck was that? It's like middle of the night. I'm sitting watching my laptop because I can't sleep, and then there's just this. Oh my god, we've got to go stop this. And I fell back asleep again. It's like, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
That was
the part
strange.
of that story she's not telling is the thing I said was woke up dead asleep screaming, I gotta stop the string at Magfest. Next day woke up and said, honey, you packed for Magfest?
No. Never again. And why not, Nick? I want to call it a boomstick. So I can say, this is mine!
Is my boomstick.
This is my boomstick.
Well, Susie was saying that a lot while she was here.
I know. They don't know that.
You know,
They're-
we're usually I'm like strolling around the house going, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for pleasure, this is for fun. She just grabs it going, no, this is my boomstick.
This is my bombshell. This is my gun. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, but you know what the scary part is? My weapon is probably can do more mass damage.
Could probably fit in this. What do you think, Susie?
No, well, maybe with a little, grease, maybe a little fucking Crisco and some fucking hand lotion.
Jesus Christ.
Visual pun.
Keep going and I'll show you the puppies.
Nicola, you corrupted the dog, damn it.
He's gonna
Look, he has a boner. Boo has a boner. He just had puberty because of his call.
Sweetie, that's his paw. No, Bio, I will not be giving my my bombshell to Phil to make into a bong.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
Listen,
disturbed him. Now he's huffing.
I know. Listen, don't knock that a puppy doesn't get horny. He has got a big massive teddy bear that's about a foot big and he keeps trying to shag it. I have a horny
Again.
puppy.
Your
He's
puppy,
Scottish.
Yes.
Your Scottish puppy is trying to shag the teddy bear.
Yes.
You have to go into full detail for this.
I don't
It's
want
a dog.
to.
It's a teddy bear. The dog humps the teddy bear. That's the story.
I mean,
It's like that little pug out of Click.
Yeah.
well,
This
does he
what I
like?
keep-
Is he
I'll
like
give
gnawing
you
a hole?
demonstration.
Is he gnawing like a hole in it, and then like the fucking lipstick comes out, and
No. I'll give
Oh,
you a
God, the mental
demonstration.
images.
This was him 5 minutes when I came back in the house on Tuesday. Hey, Boo Boo. With one of his toys. Just like, hello. You
Feels
don't be
like
a
me when I-
baby. You should know how to do that.
so it's basically like me when I come home.
Yes.
Only
I
difference,
don't- I-
only
I
difference, the only difference is that dog is humping a stuffed animal, and I'm humping basically dry air. Just going, come here, honey. I'm blind. I can't see. I'm tired. Just walk into it. Just walk into it. I swear. 5 seconds. Good loving.
Oh, God.
Ay. This is the romance I get.
Well, that and me collapsing on a bed, exhausted, just stripping down naked, just saying, just get on top, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Inform me in the morning.
The only hope I have for him.
Then I wake up with red hairs in my fucking between my teeth, and I can't figure out why.
Yes. The only hope I have for Boo starting early is I don't want him to have the same thing that Aaron had, my first dog, where he managed to do it to a couple of his cuddly toys. Then his lipstick got stuck. He couldn't get it back in. And was wandering around the living room looking like John Wayne, howling at the top of his lungs. And me and my dad trying to rub his area for 40 minutes, trying to get it to go back in.
Honey, this is just coming from a guy's perspective. I don't think rubbing it would have helped it go back in. I think lack of stimulation would have been better in that scenario.
No, we had to get we read about this, it was like you get a cold, damp cloth and you rub it gently.
Did you ever think about just throwing him in the shower with the cold water running?
No, because he was a dog. He was going mental at the fact that his willy wouldn't go back in.
It happens to me twice a week when you're here. You do what you say that you do there. Just fucking, just fucking reach over the nightstand, grab the beer, give me a couple sips, and then basically put on one of those fucking British fucking soap operas and let me go to sleep soundly.
Oh, Jesus.
So what you're saying is you kind of basically jacked off your dog.
That's why I don't want Boo to be like that. He's innocent. Well,
You should probably get him fixed.
Give him 6 weeks until fucking Susie gets a hold of him. He ain't gonna be innocent any longer.
yeah, I'll just get the look of,
Huh?
what the hell are you doing?
Like, I don't want to stop. oh, dog whistle.
Yeah, but he's kind of a sadist with the bear because he's kind of ripped his throat apart already.
Well, he is a dog. They tend to do that. But the question is, does Boo know you're in charge?
Sort of.
Ooh.
Yeah, he responds better to me than he does my parents. That's a sad thing. He doesn't listen to them. But he knows when he's in trouble with me, and he doesn't like being ignored. So same as me. He hates being ignored.
Is he one of those dogs who just
I will
loves to
not
sit
be
on your knee?
ignored. Rub my belly.
Yeah, he gets bored very easily and just wants attention all the time. So he's the dog equivalent of me.
What you need is one of those little collars from Up. You are my master and I love you.
Oh God, I would. He has the look of Doug. I swear to God, he did a squirrel years ago. He was just sitting lying on the couch, eating one of his toys, and then just went, squirrel! And they just carried on.
Oh God. I giggled my ass off at that joke in that film.
You're crushing my legs, sweetie.
Film that managed to tell a more successful love story in 2 minutes with no dialogue than Twilight did in, 5 books?
Yep. It's because Twilight sucks.
Yeah, I tried to give it a fair chance and read the books, but I couldn't do it. It was just so poorly written.
Yeah. I hate the sad fact that my brother adores the Twilight movies. What? Yeah. My brother adores the Twilight movies. And Sex and the City. And yet he's not gay.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
I know he's married, but does he ask your sister-in-law, does he sneak out late at night, then come back a few hours later kind of giddy and, smelling like sweat?
I don't know what he
funny.
gets up to. I
I know it's a type of guy I used to do when I was married.
Yeah.
you make up a random excuse, you start a fight, get an excuse to get out of the house, go down, dance with the guys for a few minutes,
Then
Yeah,
again,
come
Yeah,
back,
my-
like,
I know a
honey,
few
I'm
guys.
sorry.
They're not gay. They're
I'm
camping
sorry.
in real tent.
Yeah. My brother doesn't drink though.
Then I know some guys.
don't
They're
have- you
not
don't have
gay,
to
but there's
dr- you don't-
camps of rose tents, so can't talk to that.
Susie, you don't have to be gay. You don't have to drink to go to a gay bar. Sometimes you just gotta dance with the guys. I'm just
I know
saying.
you do. I know you
Yes.
I want to take you to a gay bar.
And I fucking, you know what? And honey, say what you want, but at least I bring back fucking roses and and money for dinner for the next night.
Yes, you do. Even though you tried to get me to go to 6 of them with you. With a
I'm
camera.
sorry. I'm sorry. I want to feel like a rotisserie.
Aww.
Get some chicken.
Okay, I think that's a good one to end it on.
What? Get some chicken? Is that going to be your sign off? I'm gonna get me some chicken.
Yes. Chicken head for tonight.
Yay.
Hey,
I got
Nicola.
to go down to KFC and get me some chicken.
God damn it, I want chicken now.
Yeah, now Susie's pissed because KFC's closed.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nicola. Nicola, by the way,
24-hour KFC's here's closed.
Yes.
yeah. But Nicola, it was great having you on. Thanks for ad-libbing everything. This was great. This came out a lot better than I was hoping for. This is awesome. Susie, my darling, say goodnight to Boo. I gotta get back to the music, and I can't think of anything more appropriate.
Bye-bye.
This is my bombshell. This is my gun.
And that is my Susie and my Boo. So,
Yes.
thanks for joining us again on Stupid City Laws Live here on Center Radio.
Bye.